Welcome back. There is a very foggy live look from the Oregon coast. That's our In It Spanish Head Resort Hotel camera in Lincoln City. Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. Is the little voice inside your head your biggest fan or your greatest foe? Our next guest joins us with advice on how to make sure that voice is serving you well. We welcome the author of the book, Change Your Questions, Change Your Future. Overcome challenges and create a new vision for your life, Elliott Connie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
So tell me about just how impactful it can be to just have that perspective shift and change the questions that we are asking ourselves internally.
It's huge. I mean, we often talk about self-talk and we often talk about like how you talk to yourself matters. But to go deeper into that, the questions you ask yourself define your reality. For example, like a really quick example, if I asked myself, how come I'm broke? You're only going to learn more information about being broke. But if you ask yourself, how can I get rich? Or how can I achieve my goals? Or how can I achieve my dreams? Then you start to like literally transform your life and your reality to start manifesting the things you want. It's a huge difference from trying to avoid what you don't want and trying to pursue what you want. So the questions we ask ourselves have to be in line with pursuing what we want.
That sounds like a great next step when you talk about, that conversation of self-talk and being more positive and setting yourself up in the right direction. Tell me about why you wanted this book to come out right now. I know you put a lot of time and work into it.
Yeah, like I wanted this book to come out because I think we're living in a time where we're just being inundated with information. And unfortunately, it's not all accurate. So as a practicing psychotherapist, I've been working with people for nearly 20 years. And when you see the way people really shift their lives and shift their realities is by learning to shift their focus into what is desired, it just made me really motivated to get this book out into the world so people could read it and have their lives change and change very quickly.
I love that. So tell me about the approach behind solution-focused brief therapy. How does that differ with some other things we might be more familiar with?
Oh my gosh, how much time do I have?
the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah. So solution-focused brief therapy, it's a type of psychotherapy that is more about healing through change as opposed to healing through insight. So most people are very familiar with the kind of therapy where you come in, you sit in an office, and it's like, tell me about your mom and how much did she hug you, and your dad and how much did they love you. But that just leads to insight, and oftentimes insight does not lead to change. Solution-focused brief therapy is an approach that believes very much in focusing on the desired changes you want to achieve leads towards healing. And it's a wonderful, wonderful way to experience psychotherapy.
I love that. Now, is there a certain place to start for people who are feeling overwhelmed or just stuck? Is there one great question that you have as kind of a starter offering for folks to maybe try this out?
Oh my God, yes. The number one question that you should ask yourself, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling really trapped, the question you have to ask yourself, and I mean authentically, honestly ask yourself, is what do I want? Most people never ask themselves that question. We're so busy living a life that somebody gave to us. Like we live our lives to make our parents proud, or we live our lives to be judged by the people around us well. We live our lives focused on external things, or we live our lives to avoid what we don't want. But the most powerful question you could ever ask yourself is, what is it specifically, exactly, and meaningfully that I want?
Are people kind of scared of the answers sometimes? I feel like, you're right. We don't really ask ourselves those things that often. We're just getting through the day.
Yeah, well, we are scared of the answer because the answer usually leads towards change, and change is hard. So if I say to myself, what I really want is to be an artist. Well, then if you have parents that are both like doctors, they want you to be a doctor, then you're gonna have to have a hard conversation with those parents, and you're gonna have to change the direction of your life. You're gonna have to go move somewhere where art is a focus. Like oftentimes the answer to that question leads towards change, but you cannot live a meaningful and purposeful life if you don't spend time asking yourself that question. It is so valuable, so important, and so critical.
You're right. Okay, I got to ask you while you're here. Tell me about your backdrop. I'm seeing lots of things. I see lots of sneakers, which I love. Tell me more.
You know, it's funny. I was just telling somebody that when COVID happened and somebody said to me, Your background should represent your personality. Well, I am a person who owns hundreds of pairs of shoes, so I have some of my sneaker collection
A
behind
few.
me. I also love Star Wars and Marvel. If you're not a Marvel person, I don't even think you're like, I think you're like not from this earth. And I have my two latest books, this one being the one that we're currently talking about. Boom, right here.
I love that though, so intentional and a little glimpse into who you are.
Yes, exactly.
A snapshot. Hey, thank you so much for chatting with us. It was so fun spending some time with you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Elliott's book again is Change Your Questions, Change Your Future, and we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.